Hello and welcome to another video on the Chameleon 20. I feel like we're just cranking these out, but we're coming to the end of our series. So I guess today we're going to talk about the File Explorer and some of the, I guess for lack of better terminology, some more advanced ways of using it. So like organization, I guess. So, all right, let's review how to get in there. We are in the main menu now. If I press the letter F for File Manager, followed by the Enter for the .8, I will enter the File Manager. As you might recall, you're going to be placed in the same sort of general area where you left off. So if I was in the main directory, I'd be put right back in the main directory. If I was in a specific file folder, then I would be put back there. Right now I'm in the main directory of the storage, not of the SD card. I see that I have a folder in focus here, the books folder. If you'll recall, I know it's a folder because there's a full cell plus dots 7 and 8 that are present in that first cell of the display. That indicates that it's a folder. So I'm going to create another folder. I'm going to do that by pressing a space with the letter N. It's going to say new, and it's going to give me that new folder, and it's going to give me that bracketed area where I can choose to give it a name. I'm going to call it Snow. And I did use contracted braille. And I'm going to go ahead and press enter on that. And now I'm back focused on the books folder, but if I press the letter S here, I end up focused on that Snow folder. Now, if I were to have made a mistake, or I didn't like the name, or I changed my mind, I can rename this folder. It's pretty easy to do. Backspace plus the letter R for rename. And it gives me the name of the name of the folder in the brackets. And all I have to do is press a backspace to erase it and start over. I'm going to call it Amy. It'll pop up better alphabetically that way. And I'm going to go ahead and press enter, and that'll confirm. So now, look at that. The first folder is not books anymore, it's Amy. So that's a pretty simple way to create and rename folders. Now, I guess what we're going to talk about is how do you perform a specific action on something that's in focus. That's pretty easy. There are cut, copy, and paste commands that work with the Chameleon. They are all done with a backspace, and they are all pretty similar to the computer commands. So if you use PC commands, you should remember these. So I'm going to give an example here. There is a file hanging out here that has not been placed in a folder. And I'm going to just find that file. And here it is. It's that I used my previous and next thumb keys to find it. I could have also pressed the letter S because I knew it was called star. So here is this TXT file that we had actually used closer to the beginning of this series when we talked about using the editor. I don't like this file just kind of sitting here. I would rather put it in a folder. So what I'm going to do is there is not a move command, interestingly enough. You have to cut and copy and or paste. So I'm going to cut this file, backspace plus the letter X for cut. And my display will say cut on it to confirm that that action has been performed. So now I'm going to move to the Amy folder by pressing the letter A to bring it in focus. And here it is. I'm going to press enter to open it. It says that the folder is empty, but it's not going to be empty for long. We're going to paste that file in here by using the backspace plus the letter V. And it says pasted on my display. And once that flash message disappears, here it is. It says star. So this item is now in this folder. Because we cut it from the main directory, we didn't copy it. The file was moved. Now, if I want to, I can actually copy this file and place it in the main directory. So it is two places at once. I'm going to do that. I'm going to do a backspace plus the letter Y. And my display says copied. And I want to go back. So I'm going to do a space plus the letter E to exit out of that folder. And now I'm in my main directory again. And I'm going to do that backspace, apparently I can't say that word today, plus the letter V. And it says pasted. I'm going to confirm that it's here by pressing just the letter S. Oops. I'm just going to make sure it's here. Oh, interesting. Yes, it's here. I don't know why it beeped at me. Whatever. So here it is. So if there are some other things I can do with this file, I changed my mind. I don't want it in two places. It's annoying to me. I want to delete this file. If I wanted to do that, I would do a backspace plus the dots 2, 3, 5, and 6. And it will ask me, confirm. And I'm going to press the next key until it says OK, and then I'm going to press enter. Now that file has been deleted. Remember, when you are deleting, it will ask you to confirm every time you perform a deletion. That's for, for your safety and such. So you don't accidentally perform a command. Those are the basic commands that you can do with any file or folder. If you forget those commands, you can do, okay, here I am focused on my Amy folder. I can do a space plus the letter M. And what that does is that brings up the context menu. And it gives me some options, and it's going to show me all of those things, mark or unmark, and we're going to talk about that next. Remember, I'm in the context menu. The next thing is, okay, here we go. Oh, the next thing is open, then information, then rename, delete, copy, cut, paste, and then back to new folder, search, and so on. And then sort, and the where am I, select, eject for eject your media. We're not going to really worry about that. And there's the last one is go to parent, which is basically the same as hitting your space plus the letter E, is go to parent, and then we're back to mark. So those are all the commands that you can get to in the context menu. It's really important to know that you can do that, because just because you forget a command or you get your backspaces and your spaces and your enters mixed up, you think it's maybe space plus X, but it's really backspace plus X. You know, it can take a little while to get used to doing these kinds of things, especially when it's relatively new. So there's that context menu that's sort of your backup, sort of like a integrated help, if you will. The last thing we're going to talk about is marking, as I promised, from that context menu. And I'm just going to do an escape from the context menu just by pressing that space plus E. And heads up, if you remember no other command of how to get out of something, you want to remember that one. So, all right, suppose I want to mark more than one item to perform an action. I can pretty easily do that. Suppose I want to mark the Amy folder. I'm going to mark that with a backspace plus the letter L. And I will get, it will underline, sort of with your dots 7 and 8. And I found the Amy folder. And now I want to find that star file. And I could have hit the, oh yeah, you know what? It's not in here. I don't know what I was thinking. So I could mark more than one thing. I think I'm going to. I think I'm just going to mark that, and I'll just mark this. So I'm going to do a space plus an L to mark this one as well. And it will also be underlined. Any action that I care to perform will now be applied to both of these items. I can cut, copy, delete, anything like that. And it will apply to both folders. Now remember, I'm going to go ahead and do that backspace plus dots 2, 3, and 5, and 6 to delete. It's going to ask me to confirm. This time I do not want to do those things. I do not want to. So I'm going to press the next key and it says okay. And here's the other option is cancel. Excuse me. I don't know what I was thinking. Is cancel. I'm going to press enter on cancel because I do not want to delete those. What that does is then it, I'm not sure if it unmarks it actually does unmark the items that you have marked. So that's kind of a shame. You got to start over. But that's okay because at least you didn't do something that you didn't want to do that could not be undone. There is no undo here. You've noticed I have not at any point said Control Z or Backspace Z or Space Z or anything for an undo. This is a very simple editor, a very simple file manager, all things like that. There's no undo, just like there isn't in the editor as well. That should help get you started on the menus and the file manager. Aside from that, I think we're good. Have a great day.